Another special year for UND hockey has come to a close, and we will do our best to do it justice over the next 30 minutes on this, the season finale of North Dakota Hockey Central. I'm Alex Heinert. It is great to have you with us one more time this college hockey season. After winning back-to-back Penrose Cups and the program's first Frozen Faceoff Championship, the University of North Dakota entered the NCAA Tournament as the top overall seed and with high hopes of claiming the program's 9th national championship. Unfortunately, this year, it was not meant to be. After a 5-1 win over American International in the first round of the Midwest Regional, UND would battle conference rival Minnesota Duluth for 8 periods this past Saturday in Fargo in what would become the longest game in North Dakota and NCAA tournament history. The Bulldogs would ultimately find the game winner in the 5th overtime to punch their ticket to the Frozen Four and end North Dakota's historic season.
Two great teams going at it, and obviously the score reflected it and the overall game reflected it. I mean, either team could have won tonight, and it just happened they did. So
UND finishes this year with a record of 22-6-1, winning 78% of their games in the toughest conference in college hockey. They scored the most goals and allowed the fewest among NCHC teams and were top 2 in the league on the power play and penalty kill. 8 players earned all-conference or all-rookie recognition, while 3, plus their head coach, won individual league awards. They might not have won the top prize, but they did become the first team in the NCHC era to claim the regular season and conference tournament titles in the same year, building on the success they'd had the year before and leaving a legacy that will not be forgotten anytime soon. We will have much more on this team, including a conversation with North Dakota head coach Brad Berry that you won't want to miss. That's coming up next on North Dakota Hockey Central. Welcome back to North Dakota Hockey Central. We are proud now to be joined by the head coach of UND Hockey, Brad Berry. Brad, coming off a Midwest Regional that I don't think any of us are ever going to forget anytime soon.
No, it's one to remember for the ages. And, as a coach and our players, it's something that they'll take to get with them for the rest of their lives, and it was a great experience.
As we look back to the events in Fargo from this past weekend, we'll start on Friday with your opening round game against American International. A really complete performance from your group. It started with a great first period.
Yeah, you know what, I thought we came out of the chute, and that's what our team was like all year. You know, we ended up getting a lead, and it's one of those things that we wanted to do and carry through for the rest of the season here. And it's a situation where we knew we had to win that first game to get to the second one, and just proud of the way our guys went into that game. They talked about the top seed, and sometimes they didn't have a lot of success against the 16 seed, and I thought our guys did a good job of putting that in the background and finding a way to get it done.
Yeah, you led 4-0 after the first. You'd go on to win 5-1 to move on to that regional final against Minnesota Duluth. Circumstantially, the Bulldogs didn't have to play on Friday because of a COVID issue with Michigan, the 2 seed in the tournament. Knowing that your opponent was going to be 100% rested, did you and the staff adjust anything going into that second game?
What? Probably just empowered our group to play the game that we had to play, and I'm just super proud of the way our guys prepared for it. I think there's a lot of things that you could put built-in excuses on why you shouldn't do well, but our guys never had any ambivalence in their process, and that's the beauty of our culture and our group. And not a lot of situations you can't control, and that's one of them. But I thought we controlled what we could, and we did a really good job of trying to find a way to win. We came 1 goal short of doing that, but at the end of the day, it doesn't define us who we are as a group.
You mentioned that third period. Again, it was scoreless going into the third. UMD got a couple of breaks, a broken stick, a bad bounce, and all of a sudden you're down 2-0. The resiliency, though, certainly was there.
Yeah, 100%. And you know what? I think it goes back to communication. We talked about to our players about enjoying the journey. Like, the journey might have some highs and it might have some lows, and you got to, handle them both in the right way. And you know what? That was a low coming out in the third period. And a couple, like you said, fortunate bounces by them of going in. But again, how do you handle it? And our guys handled it extremely well, to the point where you fought back and battled back to try and had a chance to win the game.
This felt a lot like your semifinal in this building in the Frozen Faceoff against Denver. Going down late, pulling the goalie early to get the extra attacker on. You had to come back from 2-0 this time. Talk about how that experience, perhaps just a week and a half earlier, helped your team succeed then down the stretch.
Tremendously, Alex, and it's a point where you put that in the back of your mind, that knowing you can do it, and we always talk about getting the lead and trying to lead from wire to wire, from start to finish, but that sometimes in hockey you have to chase games, and I'm just proud of the way our guys believed and try to find a way to tie the game up at a key time of the game. And again, it's a situation where it comes from the leadership in the locker room. That doesn't happen unless you have strong leaders in your locker room that kind of reinforce the message from the coaches.
Yeah. Two of those leaders scored those 2 goals, Colin Adams and Jordan KAWAGUCHI, with 1:41 left to tie things up. Going into overtime, you had to feel that boost of energy, that emotion, that surge was going to come early on.
Absolutely, and I thought we did. I thought we had a really good push in the first overtime and all through the overtimes. And, you know, there was unfortunate bounces that didn't go our way. A puck stayed on top of the net after a shot. They hit 3 posts, had numerous opportunities that probably went wide of the net that we should have hit nets on. But, you know, it's a situation where we did everything we could to try to win the game, and that's what the game of hockey is. One bounce here or there is a differentiation of winning and losing.
Yeah. In that first overtime, it looked like Minnesota Duluth had won the game on a Kobe Roth goal and then was correctly disallowed for an offside. You had to have flashbacks to the last time you were in that building to have the exact same scenario.
Yeah, for sure. Only on the other side of it. On the other side of it, yeah. And again, it gave us life. But, you know, I think you go through the full gamut of emotions as a coach and as a player, because from that moment where they scored that offside goal, you know, there's images in your mind that your season's over. And I couldn't imagine Adam Shield and the rest of our players, you know, trying to pick themselves up after, you know, you getting another life into the game here. And again, fortunately we did. It's just we didn't get to capitalize on it.
Yeah, you could see the guys quickly recovered from that, which I thought was really impressive mentally. But then physically as well, to be able to keep grinding as you go to a second, a third, a fourth overtime, it had to be surreal to see them continue to go out there.
It really is, and you know what, from a coach's standpoint, I think a lot of fans don't get to see the kind of the inner workings in a locker room. You know, when you go through a marathon game like that, our guys, you know, they dug down. You know, they were mentally and physically spent, but they found a way to keep going and dominating the game, and you got to be proud of that. And it's a situation where, like I said, it just doesn't happen overnight. It happens from a culture that's built in here a long time ago, that's the way we play right to the end.
What do you say to the guys as they continue to go back to the locker room for another 20-minute period that's coming? Do you talk a lot? Is it mostly just let the guys recover and rest and get ready to go?
And that's a great question, Alex. You know, when you get into the first and second overtime, there's different things structurally you want to sharpen up on and tell the guys. But when your mind starts to get fatigued and your body starts to be fatigued, simplicity or keeping things simple is a big deal. And there was only a couple of things. The biggest thing is trying to get fluids and nutrition into your body to go for the next go around. And you know, I think it's one of those things where as a coach, you give it that, hey, we got this, and we're in here with you. Like I'll tell you what, all of us coaches here, there wasn't a lot of direction as far as structure in the fourth and fifth overtime. We're handing out oranges and bananas to the boys. We're sitting with them in the trenches. Yeah. We're there with them, and I think that went a long way.
This was a group that obviously had been through a lot and had yet to play the night before. How did you manage minutes as that overtime went along to try and put the right combinations out there to keep guys fresh? Talk about that side of the strategy.
Yeah, that's another good point. You know, going into overtime, usually overtimes doesn't take long. The game's over. There's one play that's made early on. So we went down to 3 lines for most of the period, and Duluth did too. And then we after the first period, we said, boy, these guys can't keep this up with going 3 lines. So we went to 4 lines. Out of all 4 lines, I thought we got a heck of a push in the fourth overtime, or the fifth period. And that's when Duluth started to play. Their fourth line was probably in the 6th overtime, and they, unfortunately for us, they got a goal from their 4th line. But it's one of those situations where we had to play everybody, and everybody did a pretty good job of giving us some good minutes.
Yeah. How much does that say to the work this group did over the course of the season, the off-season, the training they did with Mark Pullman, to look like a fresh team, even though they had played 120, 140 minutes of hockey during the course of the evening? And
that's another great point. When you really look at it, when you pull the layers back, we played 3 games, probably around 3 games in 30 hours. That's insane. And again, I can't say enough about Mark Pullman and what he's done as far as building up the foundation of our guys on their conditioning from early July until where we're at right now. And you know what? Usually the team that plays a ton of hockey is the one that's fatigued. I think we look like the fresher team out there.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, for sure. Obviously, you created, as you said, a lot of chances in those overtime periods. Hit the post numerous times, the one shot on top of the net. And then in the end, it just ends up being a puck that somehow gets past, that goes in the net for the opposition to end this contest. It's a cruel way, of course, for the season to end, but that's the nature of this game.
100%. And you know what, the message at the end was, you know what, you poured your hearts out on the ice, you wore your hearts on your sleeve all season long. You came to the rink every single day and got better. And to the point where, you know what, it's unfortunate we didn't win the game, and you control what you can control, but that's what life is. And again, life isn't fair in that regard, but what do you do from here on in? You just get back up on the horse again and you get after it again next year.
Yeah, it was a special team. It just really was. On and off the ice, a special group of guys, and they accomplished a ton. Now you go into this offseason, and this is really going to be an offseason unlike any other, with the extra year of eligibility that the NCAA has granted, the transfer portal, which is a pretty full place to be right now, and obviously guys making decisions. What do you expect, really, this offseason? How do you approach this offseason?
Well, the first thing, the most important thing right now is our group, right? And making sure they're in a good spot. And, you know, I know we've got a lot of great players coming back here. I know we got some players that have opportunities to play at the pro level, which they should. You know, we fully endorse that. But we're just going to manage our group now as far as who's coming and who's leaving. And then from there, we have some great young recruits that are going to be coming in next year. The transfer portal is filled with very good players that want to play one more year of college hockey. So we're going to kind of go through our group and see what fits. But at the end of the day, Alex, you have to be an unbelievable player to come here, but you got to be an even better person as far as a character. And again, we're going to make sure that we have all the right seats on the bus filled with the right people.
Yeah, we'll be excited to see how this team comes together over the course of the summer. I can't believe this is it for the year, Brad, but we want to thank you on behalf of our crew just for your gracious time. Again, always a pleasure to cover this team on and off the ice. We're excited to do it again next fall.
Alex, I can't say from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for all you do. You pour your heart each and every game, and not only for our program, but for the rest of the UND programs. You know what? I want to thank you and all your staff. You guys are elite. You guys are National Hockey League level, and I want to thank you that we're blessed and grateful to have you guys in our lives. So thank you very much.
That means a lot, and it's a National Hockey level type team that we're covering here. So we appreciate that very much. He's Brad Berry. We're going to be chatting with him, of course, come the fall when we continue to cover this program. Coming up next, though, we're going to hear from some of the seniors that Brad was talking about right after this on North Dakota Hockey Central. Back. The 8-man class of 2021 came to the University of North Dakota for a number of reasons, among them to build on this program's history and tradition. After winning 3 major championships in back-to-back seasons, this group will leave now having done just that. Here's a little more from that group of 8 on what has made their time in Grand Forks so special.
You come in here and you think it's gonna last forever, and then in the blink of an eye, we're coming up on the last half of my senior year.
I'm sure every other senior said it's hard to explain, but it truly is, just because this has been your world for the last 4 years.
Just seeing the guys that you go to war with every day, the memories you create, the stupid things that happen in the dressing room, and the little arguments that we get into.
Coming here to the Ralph is something that it's tough to think about, that you're not going to be coming to a rink like this every day.
I'll definitely miss the Ralph. That's one thing, seeing how passionate the fans are. But I think probably the most I would miss would be the group of guys that we have.
I think last year was probably the most fun I've ever had in a season.
Probably my favorite moment has to be us winning the Penrose last year.
Seeing Shane put that puck in the net, I got goosebumps talking about it right now. It's just a special feeling.
I'm sure you can pick out a big group of fans that probably enjoyed celebrating it too, just as much as we did.
That was the first time I've actually won anything. To have that be kind of your first, championship that you've won. We won the regular season championship. That was pretty special.
I think going to Vegas, playing the Gophers there, I can't even really describe that moment. It was so special.
We scored the empty netter, and the crowd was kind of going nuts. And I remember Pulley just saying he's never seen anything like that through all his years here.
It's been an incredible 4 years. The support from the school, from the fans, the coaches, everything they do for us down here. It's been an experience I can't even put into words.
It's definitely turned into a place that I would consider home. I know it's definitely going to be tough to leave and tough to think about, not coming here.
It's meant everything. I wouldn't be in the position that I am right now if it wasn't for UND.
Bob says it all the time. It's one of his sayings is we're add to the tradition. And, I think it's been incredibly special and an honor to play here looking back and growing up watching guys like Ben Blood and Danny Crystal play here, just to kind of follow them and follow in their footsteps and, dreams come true and come play here as well for 4 years.
First off, I'd like to thank my family. They've supported me throughout my entire career. I'd also like to thank the coaching staff. They stuck with me and gave me an opportunity, and I'm forever grateful for them.
I would definitely like to thank my family for most supporting me, through this hockey journey. I would like to thank them mostly, but also teammates and past coaches that have helped me get to where I am today.
My family, mom, dad, my brother Parker. I love you guys, and you guys have been very influential in my life and supporting me throughout my career here and through the ups and downs.
I mean, my parents, I can't put into words everything they've done for me, the sacrifices they've made, just everything they've done for me, even before here in the last 4 years, have been incredible. So thank you to them.
Definitely first off, my parents. I know it's been tough on them, so I just want to say thank you to my mom and dad, sister.
I got to start with my family, obviously. Thank you so much. Everyone's played a huge part in my journey, so I'm super thankful for everyone who's had to handle it.
Obviously, mom and dad, thanks for supporting me and, actually thinking I could, get to this level. Because I bet a lot of people didn't, myself included, a lot of the time. Every guy I've ever played with here, thank you guys so much for, making my experience so great.
Thank you to the staff. Thank you to, all my teammates from, this year and the past 3 years. Thank you to my family for sacrifices they've made and everything you guys have done to help me get here.
That's a really impressive group of young men who have been a pleasure to cover on and off the ice. They've given this fan base and this program a lot to cheer about over the last 4 years. We're excited to see what their futures hold, and we wish them all the best. When we come back to North Dakota Hockey Central, we will take a final look back on the best of this unique, remarkable UND hockey season. Stay tuned. What a season it's been for UND hockey. It started back on December the 2nd, 2020 in Omaha, the start of a 10-game and 19-day stretch in the NCHC pod. It continued in the winter of 2021 with games in Colorado, Nebraska, and North Dakota shuffled and rescheduled on a regular basis. It peaked in late February and mid-March with a pair of trophy presentations here at Ralph Engelstad Arena in Grand Forks, and it concluded valiantly in historic fashion in Fargo in the Midwest Regional. From start to finish, it has been a privilege and a pleasure for our MidcoSN staff to be a part of this season's journey and to help bring you closer to this team that you care so much about. On behalf of our producer, Jeremy Klein, our chief videographer / editor / graphics expert, Marty Mueller, our coordinating producer, Mike Derman, and the many people that help make our production of this show and our live shows of UND hockey possible, I'm Alex Heinert saying thank you for watching, and we'll see you back here in the fall at Ralph Engelstad Arena once again. Until then, we'll leave you with the best of UND hockey in 2020-2021.
It has been 9 long months since the NCHC played. Welcome to Omaha, Nebraska.
We've waited 270 days, Jake, and here we go.
Lined up and crushed.
Jander, big hit there. Big hit by Clement. One time for Pinto. Power play goal. Reese Gaber. What a move and a goal for the freshman. Cross ice. Booty in the back of the net. KAWAGUCHI. Whoa, it had to be him. It had to be him. Yes, this is Ralph Engelstad Arena, a building that has been empty for far, far too long.
Do it again, fellas. Oh, let's do it again here.
A brilliant goal from the New York native, Weatherby. He just keeps scoring. Another chance in front for Ward. The follow-up here, knocked down. Keane able to bang home the rebound. Look at this, Reese now to Ward. Tomey able to flash the leather. Springing mismatch now, KAWAGUCHI. Mismatch in the back of the net.
That's a great feed and a finish by North Dakota. Played in a mismatch down low, beautiful goal.
Pinto drives forward, leaving it for Gaber. Adams, Pinto, tic-tac-toe.
What a save by Shield.
We welcome you to Shields Arena, the site of the Fargo Regional Final. Here's it back to Pinto. He takes the shot, but it's turned aside once again by States. Oh, it's in! North Dakota is on the board. It's now 2-1. Here's for Pinto. Pinto tries to get a shot. Backdoor! Oh my goodness! The captain for North Dakota has just tied this hockey game.
Jane Pinto, beautiful feed. Brendan Mooney on the score sheet. KAWAGUCHI finding the back of the net. 0-0's on the board. North Dakota are your blood race champs in 2021.
It's been an incredible 4 years. You know, the support from the school, from the fans. It's been an experience I can't even put into words.
It's definitely turned into a place that I would consider home.
It's meant everything. I wouldn't be in the position that I am right now if it wasn't for UND.
Club says it all the time, like add to the tradition. And, you know, I think it's been incredibly special and an honor to play here looking back and, you know, dreams come true.
So